want to welcome Emma, Emma
Thank
Megarejo,
you.
to our Eoh-lution place. We are here today, Sabi and I, to welcome you, Emma. Thank you for coming and to have accepted our invitation. We know from many years now, and we know that you are doing very, very interesting things over there.
Well, I'm Emma Melgarejo. I'm talking to you from the Philippines, but I have been working in the States for so many years. Okay, then I came back to the Philippines because of the project, actually, Project Fourth. And I'm working now. It is a project on the formation of teachers in challenged areas of the Philippines. And I'm now working in another project, hopefully to be funded by the Ministry of Education here in the Philippines, which is called Project Impact, which is a continuation of Project Fourth. But this time it is to train pre-service teachers to be ready to teach in zones, in areas that are considered difficult. Okay, it is now my fifth year in the Philippines. I'm working with several universities and working as well with the ones in the public schools here. I'm very, very happy and with whatever involvement I have. And hopefully we could get the project going. It's called Project Impact.
Wow.
It really is. I'm looking forward to it because it's very, very much needed. And Tony, it will work with that idea that you have that change can only occur when it is done in an ecosystem.
Hey, that's very much aligned with our ideas, and we want to hear a little bit more because you started with a vision for the future, and we want to know a little bit how this vision started because you are, as you said, aligning many actors. This is something we are trying to do, right? Just to
To
figure
take
out.
everyone together in the same line of thinking with the same vision because it's easier to achieve the aim, the
Yeah.
objective.
So how did you? Yeah.
We're also working very, very closely with young people. You know that I'm still very much involved with EDIW, right?
Yeah, I know, I
So
know.
again, it's part of this ecosystem that now cuts barrier of distance.
We want to go a little bit back and see who started this initiative, this project, who had the idea, how was the vision. So,
Yes, Impact is a continuation of Project Fourth. Project Fourth ended with a major in the Masters of Education. But then we realized that our pre-service teachers actually are the ones that are, within quotation marks, thrown into these challenge areas when they're first deployed for teaching. The Department of Education has for its policy to put the new teachers in the most difficult areas. And we find out that there's a big level of attrition among them because the training that they got at the universities becomes to be not too relevant when they are faced with a real challenge in these challenged areas. So the idea is we're going to have training, right? This is a program for 2 years in which 11 universities will work together in trying to see how we can infuse Project Fourth, which is already in the master's program, this time in the pre-service teachers. Okay, with while they're still in at the university in their practical teaching period. We have targeted as challenge areas the urban poor.
okay,
Okay, another, but there are five of them. The other one is the farmers, rural poor.
all right,
The third area are the indigenous peoples. This is the hardest one.
yeah,
Areas of armed conflict. We
okay,
also have we also have in the Philippines but you do as well, I think, groups of people who, for one reason or another, drop out of school
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
they
for
find
sure.
themselves adults, right? So far away from basic education that there's a program called Alternative Learning System that where our young teachers or experienced teachers actually go and teach them wherever they are. The impact is not so much actually the content that you teach, but the person who teaches the content.
This is coming to a very interesting point for us because we are advocating for this entrepreneurial mindset or this innovation mindset in people. So how we trigger people to commit for these transitions that we need to convey, and we find that what we are trying to get is these profiles of people that are impacts oriented, driven by challenge, with principles of inclusion, no harm, no harm for the people that you are working with, but also for the planet and also for the community or the ecosystem where you are immersing. And I think this is very very aligned and very very important. So how are you getting well, you are learning by doing. That's what we
Sure.
understand by getting into the
By
process.
being,
Yeah.
you can imagine how much of life out there we have no idea of. We asked, I think, about 300 student teachers, okay, all over the Philippines. Are you willing to teach in challenge areas? All the answers are yes. I-
Okay.
Incredible. They're willing. Whether they get there or not, that's another story. Whether they stay there or not, it's another story, right? Therefore, the research should be what is it that attracts this idealism and what is it that could help us keep that idealism on fire? Because it's very difficult to keep it on fire, but young people have it. I have seen them do it, right? But there are thousands of children, millions perhaps, who are not aware that like other children in good schools, they have a claim to this world as well.
I think you were mentioning some of the principles that are behind what moves you to bring all these people together. You were talking about 11 universities, the Ministry of Education, the schools, the teachers, the young people, the children these young people are reaching to. So there is a full range of stakeholders, of actors working together, and the principles behind is collaboration. You were talking also about inclusion, about intercultural communication or collaboration as well.
Oni,
Yeah.
add also there the collaboration of local governance.
All right.
Very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It
So
is.
this is one of the helixes that
Yeah.
we are
Yes,
promoting, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
public institutions
Public entities. Yeah.
at local level. So we find that it has to be common shared needs. Usually when it's very late, so when the need is very very big, then we
Yeah.
react. This is very human, and I have a question for you, and I don't know if you will have the answer. Is can we anticipate?
I think so, Tony, because to answer no to that is to answer no to the future, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, I think we can anticipate. We can kind of be alert to what is going on in the world, right? And to what is it that hinders us from moving. Sometimes it's ourselves and our own organization. We want to make sure that everything goes perfect, but we cannot be sure. We have to put our feet on that water or in that water, right? Because if not, If not, nothing can happen.
So we are seeing the principles behind what moves what you are doing, and this is very much about compassion as well, about commitment for the others, especially the poor and the ones left behind. And this is, by the way, one of the principles that is in the basis of our model, the multi-eye transformative governance, because we found out that if we don't connect all these dots in a manner that we can really make things happen together, we cannot anticipate on time to solve the problems. Everybody was talking about the damage to the nature. We have all the scientific data. We have a lot of technology, but we are not reversing the situation for many, many years. So we are advocating for this triple transition, social in the driving wheel, because if we don't change our habits and our ways of doing things, and we don't have a different mindset, so society in the center, people in the center for doing the change, so these agents of change, things won't happen, won't change.
We have just had a very big flood. Okay. And these are real manifestation of the effect of climate change. Definitely. Floods, erosions, landslides, right? Now, the example, very simple example, okay? Very, very simple. And it is with my people who are helping us at home and the neighbors. We are trying to prevent flooding, right? But they're not aware that the plastic that they use are the ones that are causing flooding.
Okay.
Okay, they're not aware of that one. So, we here in the Philippines, we are the biggest, we are the country I think that is the biggest consumption of plastic. Why? Because of poverty. We cannot afford bottles of shampoo.
All right.
Therefore, little sachets are created for everything. Little sachet for toothpaste, little sachet, little packets of plastic. And people just throw it everywhere. So, what's happening now is that they become very ingenious. They don't have electricity, right? But they're able to conserve fire.
Okay.
They could do that. I mean, the simple people are very ingenious.
Yeah, we can put the theory, but if we don't put the samples, then it's not so clear what we are meaning. So I think, yeah, we can use these samples in
Yeah.
boxes.
I
Yeah.
think the examples are really like when you read it and you see like the theory, like you can imagine, and it's really helpful
Yeah.
for the reader, I think.
When I was in the States for very long, the first time I returned back to my country, I left 69, I came back 76 already.
Okay.
Okay. They thought I would turn white
Just because you went there.
because I am in this, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to turn white, right? Okay, so
Oh my
I
God.
get off the plane and my aunts were saying, instead of like saying, oh my God, welcome, the thing that they said is, oh my God, you're still dark.
Oh shit. Oh my God. That's a very good one to finish. Just to say how we are having these expectations depending on our cultural mindset, so that we portray this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only way that could, the same thing happened to me in the States. And the only way that I broke that barrier was to show them that I have something to offer. What's my opinion of a successful innovational system?
Yeah.
Yes.
My opinion obviously is go for it, right?
Yeah.
But first, whoever is starting this initiative should know what is being innovated. Okay, a very clear statement of what's being innovated, why you're innovating, where you're going in the innovation, and which are your partners in this innovation so that you are not in it alone. Your ecosystem again, uh,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely go forth for the innovation. If we don't innovate, we become stagnant. We die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very,
You're like,
very, very good claim. So the last question, and we'll let you go.
What could be improving in the ecosystem? What do you think is the next step you should do? I don't know, in the Philippines or maybe in the world. What should you ask for?
okay, so you want to know what can be done with the ecosystem, right? So
Yeah.
that everyone can move towards the same
Yeah.
direction. A lot of humility and a lot of clarity. Because in an ecosystem, no one can claim like the only solution. That's why it's an ecosystem, right?
That's what we
It's
are trying to negotiate the solutions together, so that then
together.
we can bring the different knowledges and the different capacities and capabilities of everyone in the table. So I think
Ah,
that's
the word, EDIW, interdependent.
yes. I
Okay.
think that's a very good one. Thank you, Emma. It was a
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.